Hi everyone, and welcome back to CineView. For this episode, we'll be taking a look at the sports drama biopic, Big George Foreman, based on the life of the legendary heavyweight boxing champion, George Foreman, and is directed by George Tillman Jr., who also helps out with the screenplay. The movie stars Chris Davis, Jasmine Matthews, John Margo, Sullivan Jones, Lawrence Gillard Jr., Sonia Son, and Forrest Whitaker. George Foreman grew up in a very poor family. So poor, in fact, that one night, the entire family had to share just one singular hamburger. George was also falling behind on his education, and the only thing he was good at is going to fights. He had a very hard childhood. George convinced his mother to sign him up for Job Corps. There, he was discovered by Doc Broaddus, who decided to train him to become a great boxer. George decided to go serious on his training and begin his career as an amateur boxer. And in 1968, he went to the Summer Olympics in Mexico, and there, he won gold medal for amateur boxing. He became professional the following year, and went on to win multiple professional matchups. And on January 22nd, 1973, he went up against the then champion, Joe Frazier, and he won. He became the world heavyweight champion. But sadly, it didn't last long though, because on October 30th, 1974, he went up against Muhammad Ali, and he lost. 5 matchup wins later, on March 17th, 1977, Foreman went up against Jimmy Young and lost. That was his second loss. The other one being, of course, his matchup against Muhammad Ali. After the fight, Foreman had a near-death experience. He later had a change of heart, and he decided to retire from boxing and to become a preacher. For the next 10 years, he decided to preach, and he also had his own boxing gym where he could train students. But then in the mid-80s, Foreman went into a financial crisis, so he had no choice but to get back into the ring. He trained hard, lost a lot of weight that he gained throughout his retirement, and in 1987, he was back in the ring. And for the next 4 years, he would go on a serious winning streak. That was until April 19th, 1991, when he lost to then champion Evander Holyfield. But 3 years later, on November 5th, 1994, he did it. He regained his glory. He defeated the then champion Michael Moore. And at 45 years old, George Foreman became the oldest heavyweight champion ever. And that was a long time coming for George Foreman. That title was stripped from him for 21 years and he finally earned it back. He got back his glory. He finally retired in 1997, and by then, his record was 76-5, which was really good. And George Foreman had a great retirement these past 25 years. During his retirement, he was a great marketer, selling off his great invention, the George Foreman Grill. Now here's an interesting fact. The epilogue mixed in with the end titles, which was kind of weird. And also, my father was a big fan of George Foreman. He saw many of his amazing fights. Also, he saw the movie with me. And although critics gave the film decent reviews, the audience gave it very positive reviews, including an A- on CinemaScore. And I'm gonna side with the audience on this one. And I don't know why the film's not making too much money in the box office right now against its budget. The movie was amazing. I really loved the story. And for that reason, I'm gonna give the film 9.5 stars out of 10. I highly recommend it. And it has to break even. It must. You must see it. You're gonna love it. I promise. So that's my review on Big George Foreman. My next review is going to be on Sisu. But until then, I'll see you next time on CineView.